What is up, everybody? Welcome. My name is Josh. I'm the Fantasy Football Buff, and welcome to the channel dedicated to the mastery of Dynasty Fantasy Football. Today, I'm going to be answering the question that's on top of everybody's mind, right? Is Jalen Hurts a top 12 Dynasty quarterback? And if so, what does his upside really even look like? I'm about to talk about that right now. So without further ado, let's get it. Alright guys, let's quickly get the boring stuff out of the way. First of all, if you're not in our Dynasty Discord channel, you're doing yourself a disservice, man, for three main reasons. One, as soon as the NFL draft happens, we're going to be running a bunch of real startup drafts, starting follower leagues. It's not going to be something you want to miss. The link for the Dynasty Discord channel is down below in the About section of this video. Two, if you have any Dynasty questions, which I know you do, we are constantly talking about Dynasty. You'll have direct access to myself and to a group of guys that are addicted to Dynasty Fantasy Football to review those trades for. And finally, we are running mock drafts, mock rookie drafts, mock startup drafts. Again, it's a community you want to be a part of. It's free. There's no reason not to. The link's right down below. Join us, man. There's about almost 50 of us now. We got to keep growing. I love the momentum. Also, subscribe if you're new. Much appreciated. We love to see the growth that we've been getting. Like the video. Go follow me on Instagram at fantasy.football.buff. All right, now that all the boring stuff is out of the way, let's talk about Jalen Hurts, guys. Carson Wentz is gone. He was traded to the Indianapolis Colts, and this officially kicked off Jalen Hurts' season, baby. But let's talk about Hurts here for a second. Hurts was an absolute beast in college. He threw for 3,851 yards and 32 touchdowns and added an insane 1,298 yards and 20 rushing touchdowns on the ground his senior year at Oklahoma. He was second place in runner-up for the Heisman Trophy, right behind Joe Burrow back in 2019. The man balled out in college. And let's talk about Jalen Hurts' build for a second, because the man is an absolute beast. He looks like a running back playing quarterback. I mean, we talk about how much Jonathan Taylor is a physical freak of nature, and I'm not going to put them in the same category, but Hurts is 3 inches taller than Taylor and is exact same weight, man. Hurts ran in the 95th percentile amongst quarterbacks in the 40-yard dash, and he finished in the 91st percentile in burst score. He is quick, he is strong, and he balled out in college. Jalen Hurts was drafted with the 21st pick of the second round in the 2020 NFL Draft by the Philadelphia Eagles. And I remember that the internet absolutely blew up when this happened. I have a bunch of friends who are Eagles fans that were so pissed off, especially because they had just signed Wentz to a huge 4-year contract just the year before. So nobody understood why the Eagles were taking Hurts in the second round at that time. Listen, man, I get there are a lot of mixed reviews out there of how Hurts did as a starter in 2020, but all I saw was a crazy amount of fantasy potential. He only saw 100% of the snaps in 3 games at the end of the 2020 season, and in that 3-game stretch, he was the 3rd best quarterback overall in all of fantasy in those 3 games. He threw for over 300 yards in 2 of those 3 games, and he ran for at least 60 yards in every single one of those games. He did throw 5 touchdowns throughout that time, and he also had a couple picks throughout the season. I mean, I know he only had 3 total games. It's an incredibly small sample size, but all I saw was crazy fantasy potential and crazy upside for your Dynasty team. Now, there really are 2 sides to the debate of what Hurts' Dynasty value is, and side number 1 is that Hurts is not the future of the Philadelphia Eagles. As soon as Wentz was traded, word from Eagles camp was that Hurts was going to enter a QB competition, that he was not locked and loaded to be the starter. And these reports out of Eagles camp feeds into the belief that a lot of people have that Hurts isn't the future of the quarterback position for the Philadelphia Eagles. There's a lot of people out there who are a lot smarter than me who are scared of Jalen Hurts' arm, right? I mean, the man only threw the ball 148 times in 2020, but he threw 4 interceptions and fumbled the ball on 9 separate occasions, right? According to Player Profiler, Hurts' catchable pass rate in 2020 was 57%, and that's horrendous. Right, that means only 57% of the time when he threw the ball was even catchable. For context, Lamar Jackson, who was one of the worst in the league last season, was at 74%. So when it comes to his accuracy, it was not fantastic. And the concern is that this new coaching staff coming into Philadelphia will evaluate Jalen Hurts and decide that he's not their guy, right? They're not the coaching staff who drafted him, and that is a legitimate concern. And I do think something similar to that might happen where they bring in somebody, but not to the extreme that everybody's worried about. I mean, with Alshon Jeffrey and Deshaun Jackson leaving or being cut this past offseason, I have a really hard time seeing the Eagles go quarterback with the 6th overall pick. I understand that Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, and even Trey Lance might still be there at that 6th overall pick, but I feel like they're more likely to pick a Devonta Smith, a Jamar Chase, an O-lineman, or even look towards the defense with that top pick. And we have to point out that the Eagles are projected to be 31st in the NFL when it comes to projected cap space going into 2021. That means they have to make some cuts, and that means they will not be able to pay any big-name quarterback to come in there, right? They can't pay a Dak Prescott. They can't pay even Jameis Winston to come in and to take that starting quarterback job. More realistically, I think they bring in a Tyrod Taylor or a Jacoby Brissett, and if that's what happens, I feel really confident about Hurts' value, because 1, I feel like that will give Hurts an opportunity to learn from a vet, but 2, I mean, I feel that's a job he can pretty easily win. The other side of the Jalen Hurts debate is that he is a locked and loaded top 12 dynasty quarterback. Right? I understand the criticisms of his arm, his accuracy is clearly a red flag, but I can't understand hating on the man after just 3 or 4 starts in the NFL. I mean, let's look back at his 2020 season. The man, of course, got a very limited offseason due to COVID, right? He never took a snap at practice with the starters until right before his first game as a starter. So he wasn't really familiar, he didn't have chemistry with the guys on that roster. And let's be honest, who are we kidding, man? The Eagles' offense was terrible and injured in 2020. The Eagles finished 25th in scoring last season, and their O-line was atrocious. Guys, the Eagles were the worst in the league. They gave up the most sacks per game with 4.1 sacks per game, right? Guess who was in second place? The Giants. They gave up 3.1 sacks. That's an entire less sack per game than the Eagles did. The Eagles could not protect their quarterback no matter who was under center. And remind me who he was throwing the ball to, right? And old Alshon Jeffrey, Deshaun Jackson, who just got cut, like Jalen Reagor in his first season. It's just, the situation, of course, was subpar. On top of all of that, Jalen Hurts was playing in a scheme that was developed for Carson Wentz, right? It's hard for me to look at this situation, look at Jalen Hurts' 2020 season and not remind me of Lamar Jackson's rookie season, right? Where they were thrown in as the starter, the scheme wasn't built for them, they barely got any reps in practice, and people highly criticized them after 4 or 5 starts in the NFL. And I believe when you start looking at this side of the argument is when you start to see some crazy upside. Give Hurts a full offseason to develop, right? Give the new coaching staff time to develop a scheme around him, give him actual offensive weapons and a healthy offensive line, and we could see a real 2021 breakout from Hurts as soon as next season. Guys, the man is a legitimate dual threat quarterback and is surrounded by a potential ascending offense. I mean, it's possible that we see a Lamar Jackson-esque ascension in dynasty rankings. Maybe not to the same extreme where he goes from, the dynasty quarterback 15 to the 1 overall people had him ranked in this past offseason. But, I mean, he was a top 3 quarterback with everything working against him when he was thrown into the fire back in 2020. If everything hits for Jalen Hurts and they don't draft a quarterback or somehow find a way to bring in a big name guy, then I could easily see everyone talking about Jalen Hurts as a top 5 dynasty quarterback in the 2021 offseason. So I'll wrap it up with this, right? I can't see the future, and I'm not going to pretend to know what's going on inside of the heads of the new Eagles head coaches right now. So if you firmly believe that Hurts isn't the future, and you believe he's going to be replaced over the next couple months, then by all means sell. Because right now his value is incredibly high, and sell and capitalize on this hype if you believe that's what's going to happen, right? If you want a safer option, if I'm you, you have Hurts, don't believe in him, I'm reaching out to the Dak Prescott owner. I'm reaching out to the Justin Herbert owner, say, hey man, I'll send you Jalen Hurts in a second to get Herbert. I would even send Hurts and maybe a low first in a Superflex league to get Justin Herbert at this point. Guys, don't get it twisted, right? I believe that Jalen Hurts is legit, and I believe that he's about to go off. I mean, Dynasty League football has Jalen Hurts ranked as the QB 13 overall in Dynasty. They have him ranked behind guys like Aaron Rodgers, Tua, and Matthew Stafford. And for me, I'm always looking for upside in my Dynasty leagues. I get that in a 2-quarterback league, having a starting quarterback that is guaranteed to be a starter has a lot of value, but my focus is always on winning a championship, and to do that, you need some upside, right? You need guys that are gonna win you your league. Floor plays aren't always gonna get you there. And I do not believe that Aaron Rodgers, Matthew Stafford, nor Tua have a chance to finish as a top 2 quarterback over the next 2 to 3 seasons. I don't really think that's within their range of outcomes. Maybe Tua, but barely, right? But barely. But if Hurts keeps his starting job in this ascending offense as a legit dual threat quarterback, I really, really do believe he could finish as a top 3, top 2 quarterback as soon as next season and win you your Dynasty League. I'm telling you, that's within his range of outcomes. What do you guys think, right? Is Jalen Hurts a legit top 12 Dynasty quarterback? I think so. And, I mean, guys, don't be so surprised if in 2021 we're talking about Jalen Hurts as a top 5 Dynasty quarterback. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And guys, if you like this video, please hit that subscribe button, please hit that like button for a little bit of support, and comment who you want me to make this video profile on next. I love diving deep into specific players and telling you where they should be ranked. Jalen Hurts, go grab him. He'll win you a league. See you guys. Peace.